Here's another tip to teach you how to get your body moving in your golf swing. All right, so I'm going to keep saying it, explaining it until hopefully one day you start doing it. You know, I need that light bulb to go off and you finally grasp the concept. All right, so here is what the great majority of players are doing. All right, so if you're an amateur player and you learned as an adult, okay, I keep saying this, learning as an adult is completely different than learning as a kid. As an adult, you have arm strength. There is an object sitting in front of you, a stationary object. This is what makes golf so much more difficult than any other sport. There is a stationary object sitting right there. So what is your mind telling you to do? Well, I refer to this as human nature. Human nature is telling you to hit the object that is sitting there and hit it hard. Because in your mind, you think, the harder I hit it, the farther it's gonna go. And that's true. But there's a better way to do it. It goes way farther and way straighter if you don't try to hit anything. All right, so that's the concept. We are not trying to hit anything. If golf was as easy as just standing up and whacking at it as hard as you could, wouldn't the great majority of people be good at golf? Like, there have literally been people, playing golf for 50 years and they still shoot like 95. Okay, like at some point you'd think you'd get it, wouldn't you? Well, that's never gonna work because that is not even how to hit the ball. All right, so how do we do this? Well, think about it. When you go to hit a golf ball, you need circular rotation. So think about it. If I went like this and I went sideways and sideways like this, I would never hit a golf ball anywhere. So to hit a golf ball, you need circular rotation. There's lateral as well, but the bigger component is circular. All right, so you step up, your feet are together, you would have one axis. You would make a perfect circle around this axis. All right, that's because your feet are together. Very simple when you do that. A lot of people have hit balls with their feet together and they hit the ball quite well. This has been around since the beginning of golf. Hit balls with your feet together. Yeah, you've got one axis, your arms are stretched out right where the ball is. You go into your backswing, you hit the ball, arms stretch out where the ball is, and then it completes the circle on this side. No problem. The issue is when you go to hit the ball a long way, okay? Because your feet are together, you are going to fall all over the place. So what do? Well, we spread our feet apart, okay? So once you spread your feet apart, you have two bottoms to an axis, you have one top, your body, all right? So in order to create circular rotation, you need to create an axis. That is where the lateral part comes in. So I'm standing here like this. I need to move over here to create the first axis, head, body, back, leg. Head, body, back, leg. Have you not heard all these golf tips now saying to shift over here? Okay, you gotta shift over here. Oh, well, why would they tell you to shift over there if you didn't need to create an axis? All right, why wouldn't everybody be saying, hey, don't shift anything, just keep your head right in the middle and whack at it as hard as you can? Nobody is telling you to do that. Okay, you need to move over here. So that's the shift part of it. You got to shift over here, and now your head is creating the first axis, head, body, back, leg. Now we're creating a circle around this leg, okay? Circle around that leg. Now, we have to finish this, so we need to create a circle over here. But we're not going to go like this and go this way to create the circle on that side. What we're going to do is we're going to do it from the ground up. So we're making a circle here. Then, a lot of people lift their heels, so that's where you would plant your heel or feel like you're shifting or shifting your weight, that sort of thing. That is going to create this angle here, keeping you back here as you hit this golf ball. Okay, so we're gonna go build this axis, we're gonna hit the ball, then our head's gonna go over here, creating the second axis, or the second circle to our swing. So we have a circle around this leg, and we have a circle around that leg. Circle over here, hit the ball, then we build a circle around the forward leg. All right, so that is how it works. You are going between the two legs to create circular rotation in your golf swing. All right, so watch. Let me hit one. You'll understand what I'm saying once we do this, or once I hit one. Okay, so right here. All right, so I didn't keep my head dead still. I didn't go this way. I took my head and I actually pre-tilted my head a little bit over here. Why did I do that? Well, I did that because it's way easier to create the first axis. So let me set up again and I'll show you. Maybe you've had a lesson where somebody said to tilt a little bit. So go like this and they go, hey, instead of your body being like that, why don't you tilt like this? Why am I tilting? Well, I'm tilting because when I tilt, my nose goes over my instep. Remember, I'm trying to move over here. So if I've already pre-tilted my head like this, it's real easy to build the first axis in my swing. So that's why I want that tilt. All right, so right here, way easier. I can shift over here and build that first axis. All right, if you build the first axis, now you have a chance to build the second. All right, because your body is then active in your swing. If you go like this, trying to keep your head still, up here, right over top of this ball, and you go like this and whack, okay, that is never gonna work for a start. Plus, when you go like this and you go to hit, you're gonna lean your whole upper body that way. That's gonna send the club over the top, and you know, you're hitting solely with your arms. You've got zero body, so you're gonna buckle everything, lock your wrists, and you will hit it nowhere. All right, so you gotta get your body moving in a golf swing, but you gotta understand how to even do it. All right, so we set up, our feet are spread apart. Now, instead of our head being in between our 2 feet, we're going to take our whole upper body, we're going to tilt it. Okay, and that varies from person to person. Okay, so it might be 10 degrees, might be a little more, might be a little less. I measured Jack Nicklaus. He was 16 degrees tilted with irons, 18 degrees tilted with driver. That is why he told everybody, well, that he was trying to keep his head still, or, hey, keep your head still. Yeah, but he should have said, if you're tilted, okay, if you're not as tilted, you need to move your head to load and build the first axis in your swing. All right, and I am not kidding. There are people out there still telling people to keep their heads still. You do that, you will never get this because you're never gonna build the first axis in your swing. It would be great if you had your feet together and they said, keep your head still. Perfect. Why would you move your head? You've already got an axis. You turn in a perfect circle. But we know the golf swing is not a perfect circle. It's an oval. So to get an oval, you need 2 axes. So we've spread our feet apart. We've pre-tilted a little bit like this. Now, when we go into the backswing, we're going to allow this head, if you're not pre-tilted as much, the head may move a little bit. You're trying to load the weight on this back leg. We're up at the top. Now, instead of hitting, what we're gonna do, we're gonna fire our lower body. So from right here, okay, we're going to turn back to the ball first, and then we're gonna be into this leg, 85-15 when we hit the ball. We are still tilted this way as we hit the ball. We are not this way coming down. All right, so we hit the ball like this, and then our head goes over our forward leg, creating the second axis. So, you know, it's just getting this concept. All right, and that's what I think. It's like people just don't even know they're supposed to do this stuff. Because I have asked countless students, are you trying to keep your head still? Are you trying? Oh yeah, I was told to keep, yeah, I'm trying to keep my head still. Yeah, aren't you supposed to keep your head still? No, unless you are pre-tilted like Jack Nicklaus, okay? And few people are. So he's got his tilt. It is actually 16 degrees with a 5-iron. Again, if you take a look right here, let's measure where his nose is. His nose is right about here. And you can see his nose is basically off of his instep. All right, so let's take a look at how much he actually moved his head. Because his big thing was to keep your head still. What I'm saying is, you can keep your head still if you have enough pre-tilt. If you're not tilted as much, you got to move your head. All right, so let me put a box on his head here. Right there, okay? So now, let's go up to the top. You can see, as he's a little older, he's keeping his head in the box, but he actually stands up a little bit here. I don't know why he's doing that. I would assume because he's older, a little less flexible, so he's standing up a little bit outside the box. All right, now let's take a look at his driver. A lot younger here, a lot younger. So now watch. Keeps his head perfectly in that box. Perfectly in that box, just like that. But like I keep saying, you can only do that if you've got enough pre-tilt. If you don't have as much tilt, you're going to have to move your head. That'll allow you to build your first axis between your head, your body, and your back leg, and load the weight over to your back leg. All right, so you need to move your head to build the first axis. That will even give you a chance to use your body to hit the ball. All right, so you got to get the first axis. Then you're going to hit the ball. So we're not going to lean this way. We're going to hit the ball on a tilt like this, hit the ball. Then our head's going to go over here, creating the second axis. All right, so why don't you just try that? Why don't you do it in practice swings? All right, so in your mind, you think to yourself, okay, here I am. I'm going to add some tilt. Okay, oh, okay, I see what he's getting at. We're trying to go over here. Okay, so you just have your hands set up like you're going to hit a ball up in the air. Now you go like this and you go over here. Okay, just feel like the weight loads on this back leg. Okay, so when it loads, now you can create the first axis. It's like I don't even have a forward leg here. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going like this. I'm on this leg. I'm not on this leg. Okay, so I go like this. I build the first axis. Okay, now stay here as you come down. Okay, yes, the head is going to move a little bit forward, but it's not going to go that way. Your head moves forward because right here, when I face the ball, I'm back to where I started, 50-50. So my head, if I moved a little bit here, and I go to 50-50, my head moved a little bit. And now my head stays here or back even farther as I hit the ball, then my head goes forward. All right, so think about it. Here you are. You got the tilt. You're gonna go onto this leg, okay? Keep your head here as you swing down and through. Down and through, all the way to here. Down and through. Okay, down. You need this tilt coming down. So here's the first axis. Keep the tilt. Then your head's going to go over here to finish your swing. All right, and you just keep doing that over and over and over. Also, understand, this isn't the whole golf swing. You know, some people seem to think I'm giving everything in every tip and you're going to hit perfect shots in every tip that I explain. It's like I'm giving you the pieces, okay? You got to put the pieces together. This is a huge one because this is how you're using your body in your swing. You're going to build an axis over here, hit the ball, then your head's going to go over here, okay? So you've got to get good at that. If you've never done that before, there's no way on earth you're going to do that and get it in like 2 seconds. Okay, you got to practice a little bit. Get the concept. Okay, here I am. Back leg, boom, I'm going to hit the ball. When I go to hit the ball, the weight is already into this leg. Okay, my body is this way. As I hit the ball, then my head goes over here. All right, hopefully you understand it, okay? And this is the same with driver. Okay? Don't do different swings for irons and driver. Like, I keep seeing this too. It's like, you don't even have enough time to practice one swing, never mind two. All right? You've got to do one swing. Let the club change your swing for you. If you're hitting an iron, your stance is a little narrower, you're here like this, you go to hit a driver, you'll probably tilt back a little more. The club is flatter or longer, so it swings flatter all on its own. All right? Again, you start working on multiple things. Well, I got to do this with irons, and then when I hit my driver, I got to do, that's two swings. Okay? You don't have time for that. You got to do one swing. Okay? I don't think two swings with different clubs. All right? So just keep this stuff super simple. Start working on it like I'm saying. Build an axis over here. It's like you don't even have this leg right here. Head, body, back, leg. Hit the ball, then move your head over here. Okay? Just start doing it. Okay? If you want to prove it to yourself, perfect proof. Okay? Watch this. If I go to throw this ball, how am I going to throw this ball? Am I going to keep my feet together like this and throw? Yeah, I can do it, but not very well. Okay, so if I started like this and I'm going to throw the ball out there, head is in between my feet, what would I do? Well, I'd go over here. Okay, so I'm going over here. First axis, head, body, back, leg. Okay, I'm going to throw. My body's back here. I wouldn't go like this. Okay, that would throw the ball into the ground over here. I'd go like that. My body's going that way. I'd throw, and then I go forward over the forward leg. But throwing a ball, the ball is in motion. You already know how to do this stuff. It's just when you put a stationary object in front of someone, now they want to hit the object so they don't do the moves. All right, I don't even have to tell anybody how to throw a ball, and every single person would go like this. They'd go over here, and then they'd go over here. Okay, every single person, without saying one word about it. So we already know how to do this. It's just telling yourself to do it with the ball. But I think people aren't being told how to do this. Or, well, I know people aren't being told because, like I said, I keep asking people, and they keep trying to say, they keep telling me they're trying to keep their head still. And that is not how this is going to work. Unless you were pre-tilted as much as Jack Nicklaus. And few people are. All right? So hopefully you understand the concept. Obviously, I'm very passionate about this. I want people to get this, okay? How long have we been playing golf? All right? We have been playing golf, 200 years? I don't even know. But it's been a long time. Are people getting better? No. So there's got to be something wrong. If I can fix people in minutes, okay, literally minutes, then maybe I'm saying something that people should learn. All right? And this is one of the big pieces to this. I have never told people to keep their heads still, and I would never do that because that is never what you are trying to do in a golf swing. You need to move your head so that you can get your body moving to hit a golf ball. If you were just sitting here whacking at it with your arms, that is never going to work. No matter what you do, that will never work. And, you'll just sit here forever trying to figure it out. But I've already figured it out because I've been doing this since 1991. All right? Like I say, I get unreal results, but you got to do it a different way. And hopefully I'm explaining it enough that at some point you'll try it. Just try it in practice swings, get sort of okay at it, and then, hopefully keep doing that every night, and then try it with some balls. Do some easy shots. Think to yourself, oh, he's telling me I got to go over here, and then I got to go over here. Just start with that, just to get the concept. All right? So hopefully you're understanding it and you're going to get to work. I'm not kidding. Once you get your body moving, your whole world changes. I truly hope you've enjoyed this tip. I've been teaching a powerful, effortless, pain-free golf swing now since 1991. If you'd like to learn this type of swing, then click on this link right here or click the link in the description below, and I'll send you some free samples of my body swing book and video series that take you step by step by step through how to build a powerful, effortless, pain-free golf swing.